Hello, everyone. A very big thank you and a very warm welcome to you all from the Global School Alliance. Wonderful to have you all joining us today around the theme for our June webinar of how schools can contribute to the Sustainable Development Goals. I think we're all aware of the huge shared importance of the goals and how we can all, in our own communities, our own countries, really bring together some very innovative, creative practice around those 17 goals. So great to have you all with us. Hello, Greece. Do put in the chat where you're from. Good to see you. Quick overview of the Global School Alliance. We'd be delighted if everyone on the call can join us. Completely free to join our wide and diverse membership. We're proud now to be in 138 countries and to have representatives of over 10,000 amazing globally minded educators. And all of us have that central commitment, that shared commitment and passion for developing global education. We always say, global educators, you are the most important people in the world. Bringing together young people and showing that you are bringing the world into your classrooms is truly inspirational, and you are key to that great conversation of humankind that connects us all. So again, huge thanks to all the educators joining us to ensure that global work underpins all of our activities. Hello from Romania. Good to see you, Florentina. Okay, quick overview of our platform. Again, we'd be delighted to have you all join and get involved with our amazing platform that supports all of our thousands of members, where you can access projects and partners and project groups, lots of courses, lots of amazing partnership groups on there as well that can do some very innovative work together. Hello, Turkey. Something we're very proud of as well are our blogs and articles from our incredible community. So again, free to join. There's the link, and we'd be delighted to send your certificate of membership for that. Hello, Croatia. And also for those of you that are particularly experienced and particularly committed, we'd be delighted to invite you to become a Global School Alliance ambassador. This is a fantastic way of joining a group of very committed, globally minded educators and get involved with some really exciting projects. And we would be delighted to work with you further about how we can develop more widely our global activity. Hello, Thailand. So I'm just looking at the chat here as well. And support global activity in your school, in your country, and its wider community. Again, there's the link to become an ambassador, and very much hope you can do that. Hello, Thessaloniki. Good to see you, Sophia. And also, we're very delighted to support you with getting recognition and accreditation. Hello, India. But we've got schools from India I was speaking to today that have gone for the Bronze Award. The awards are very important in as much as they celebrate and recognize the key power, value, and benefits of global collaboration. Very easy to get bronze. It's very much at the beginning of your journey. No formal evidence required, but it's there very much to encourage a whole school commitment to global work. So to become a member of the Alliance, to start developing an international policy, to start sharing your global work widely is what underpins the bronze. For schools that are developing online collaborative activity with their partner schools, the Silver Award is available for you. And something we're very proud of are our Gold Award schools. And these are schools that have really developed and embedded online partnerships, face-to-face engagement, ensuring that young people and colleagues can all have that authentic face-to-face experience with a partner school. So do get involved with the awards. And again, we'd be delighted to have a specific call with you to develop your work. And it's hello, Marrakesh. Hilal, great to see you on board. So that's the awards, and delighted to have a call with you about those. So again, just to stress, throughout your global journey, the Global School Alliance are proud partners to help you establish that partnership, to support your languages, and really have whole school commitment to global partnerships. The importance of embedding international work, that this is something very key, very central to your entire philosophy around education, about the importance of embedding cultural capital, embedding some really innovative, creative work across your school. And of course, we'd be delighted to support that face-to-face engagement. A big part of our work is supporting those exchanges, those visits for you and your colleagues and all your learners, to ensure those authentic opportunities that support languages at the very heart of your global work. So it's very much whole school support there. Okay, we mentioned it earlier, but something we're very keen on, and again, it's great to have our three wonderful schools represented today who have been looking around the Sustainable Development Goals. Of those 17 goals that I think we're all quite familiar with, is there a goal that you feel is missing? Is there some aspect that you feel either needs greater detail or clarification, or indeed is just missing from those 17 goals? So again, that is a challenge for all the schools in our Global School Alliance community, and schools that submit those entries will be sent to New York as part of the wider World's Largest Lesson UNESCO activity. So it's a great opportunity to have the great work at your school represented with UNESCO as they are looking towards the next iteration of the Sustainable Development Goals. So a great challenge for you all there, and we hope our wonderful speakers can support greater reflection on those. And hello, Egypt. Hello, Kalal. So just to say, do join our Global School Alliance community free of charge. Register for the event. Do get involved in the Global School Awards. We'd be delighted to have a call with you about those. And our student councils. Something we're very keen on is student voice at the heart of this for both primary and secondary students. So please do get involved in our student councils. And again, just to stress, if you are interested in becoming an ambassador, and already I can see some of our wonderful ambassadors have joined us today. If you'd like to join that really amazing, inspirational community of Global School Alliance ambassadors, please do so. Thank you, Hannah. So again, do use the chat function. Any insights, reflections, comments, we will be looking at the chat and feeding that back. At the end, any particular questions, we can feed those through, and hopefully some of you wanted to come off on camera and ask that question. There's an opportunity for that. And last but not least, do share your comments on social media. It's so important that the great work you're doing every day, the great commitment to global activity is shared widely. So there's the hashtag, and do tag us at G School Alliance, and we'd be delighted to work with you and your schools. Got to say it again, you are the most important people in the world, and we're delighted to be joined by some amazing speakers today who will be telling us about their own commitment to global activity. So it's hello to the wonderful Shanaz Ojha from Delhi Public School in India. Shanaz is a social and political science educator, 15 years experience across different fields in education, and has a real central commitment to global SDG education, and recently won an award. Congratulations, Shanaz, for your teaching, particularly around the Sustainable Development Goals. So congratulations. So from India, we're very proud to be moving across to Kenya and to welcome Basie Matos, the International Coordinator at Peponi House Preparatory School in Kenya. Basie has lots of experience, beginning as a sociology lecturer from her home country of Cuba. So great to have you join us. Basie moved across to Southeast Asia to teach international languages and is currently leading on Spanish, sports, and international studies at Paponi House in Kenya. So great to have you join us, Basie. And also a big welcome to our friends from the UK, the wonderful All Saints Church of England Primary School in North London, to Jane Cockhill, head teacher, and Sophia Pantelli, who is a senior teacher, and great to have you with us as a Global School Alliance member, Sophia. Jane is head teacher of the school and creative lead on the introduction of the amazing project weeks that we'll be learning about. I'm a huge fan of the school, I have to say. The website has got amazing information resources on, but what underpins I thought was really interesting was being the best that we can be. There's something incredibly important and has global resonance about that, about being the best. And you, as educators, are giving young people the time, the resources, the energy to be the best that they can be. So again, a huge thanks to All Saints for that commitment. So you will be hearing from three amazing contributors today, three amazing schools. So without further ado, it's hello to Shanaz, hello to Delhi Public School in India, and over to you, Shanaz, about your amazing work with the Sustainable Development Goals. I think you're on mute, Shanaz. Shanaz, I think you're on mute.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now. Great.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, John, for introducing me and also introducing Jane as well as Basie. I have always been a fan of Global School Alliance. The most practical reason is I have met many good educators here with whom I have done 3 to 4 months of projects. And now coming to projects is that our school, Delhi Public School, Lava Nagpur, is a school whose school vision is to develop 21st century children with skills to become responsible environmental champions, to shoulder responsibilities of environmental causes, to advocate and campaign and become climate activists. So keeping this in mind, we have been doing this SDG work in our schools. So last year we had worked on different projects. Primarily, we have multiple projects with multiple schools at the same time, but we also have bilateral relations and projects with various countries. So we have been doing a lot of these bilateral projects with schools based on languages, wherein we have storytelling sessions, we have cartoon sessions, puppetry sessions. These sessions are generally aimed for the primary wing. But for the secondary and higher secondary wing, we have a lot of different projects. One of the projects which we did was with a school from Colombia. So this Colombia school, that is the San Jose School of Colombia, with we had the work on water guzzlers. So water guzzlers you will find in our city. There has been plantation by the Nagpur Municipal Corporation of water guzzler trees like Conocarpus trees. This Conocarpus trees is planted in between the roads, and nobody understands that this is a plant and which grows very fast and it absorbs a lot of groundwater. One of the reasons why we have scarcity of water in this part of Maharashtra state is because there is a shortage of groundwater, and one of the causes is that we are planting trees without trying to find out how much of water are they absorbing. So we worked on this project with Colombia, And the wonderful thing about this is we not only collaborated with a school from the Global School Alliance, but we also worked with Sophia. She is a young girl who has an NGO called Impacto. And this Impacto is working for various projects handled by different parts of the world. So we collaborated with it. In fact, I'm very grateful to the Colombian school, which introduced me to Sophia because she is an ex-student of that school. And we worked for 3 to 4 months, and we found out the solution. And we worked on the method of design principles, and we used brainstorming methods to find the problems as well as to find the solutions for it. And then we went to the Nagpur Municipal Corporation and signed a petition asking them that they should stop growing this conocarpus trees in Nagpur indiscriminately. And they are still working on it. But the best part is at least there is an awareness about it. Because the reason what they gave that why they are growing this conocarpus trees is that it grows very fast and does not shed leaves. But they are not understanding what harm they are doing to the city. So this project is still live. We are still working on it, although it has been culminated bilaterally from both the countries. The best part is Colombia as well as us, we did a joint podcast on it. So this podcast was made jointly by Impacto community from Colombia as well as us. And then we made another project. We worked on another project on microplastics. And this was with a school from Mexico, Peterson School from Mexico. And this was also a 3 to 4 months of project. And this wonderful school I met through the Global School Alliance platform. And in fact, all my community partners are from Global School Alliances. And this is the best thing which we have done working with Peterson Schools, Columbia. We worked on SDG 13, working on microfibers. And the solutions which we worked is how to decrease the microfibers which are present in the atmosphere. And we came to know, we worked on that we must reduce the number of wash cycles, try to go for clothes which are not biodegradable, try to go for clothes which are not synthetic. And the best part is, yes, we need to decrease the wash cycles so that the runoff does not enter into the oceans and harm the oceans. So this was also a 3 to 4 months project. Then we worked with Gavin McCormack for the International Children's Day. And we were very glad to meet one of the Pakistani girl from a very remote part of Pakistan, and how she and her family have set up a school in one of the most remote parts of Pakistan. It was very heartening to hear about her story. So by these conferences, what skills we develop in our children: empathy, developing perspectives, developing kindness in the hearts and minds of children. This is what we are working on. Then we worked on endemic species with the Philippines. It was a science project, and the educator is also from Global School Alliance. So I believe the members of Global School Alliance are really very passionate about their work. We collaborate with each other over a period of time, and it does work. Being members of Climate Action Schools, we have worked on the climate action projects, and climate action projects, we worked on SDG 13 and presented to almost 15 to 16 countries of the world. We, in fact, converted plastic bottles into dustbins to be used in a park, which was a bare ground, and we converted it into a park, and we used all recyclable products in order to make it a green place for the children of the nearby community to come and play. So these are the various ways by which we collaborated with the world. Then we also worked with the Gold Project, and this Gold Project was in collaboration with the Jack Davis idea of becoming factivists. And we were working at that time on International SDG Cohort 6, wherein worked on Cohort 6, which we are working on SDG 15 on gender equality, and we talked about domestic violence and how there has been a 30% rise in domestic violence during the pandemic. Generally, people don't understand what abuse is. So they are not able to distinguish. They think only the physical assault is domestic violence. So people should know what abuse means. So we worked on this and we shared the data from the Nagpur police station. Nagpur has several police stations, one which was very close to the school. We found the records that there has been a rise in 30% of domestic violence in our city. And this is the keystone species, that is the neem tree. The neem tree has a lot of medicinal properties, but nowadays in India, it is not being grown so much because there is an attack of bacteria on it. But we are growing gulmohar trees, which has no added value other than it looks beautiful. So it is ornamental, but doesn't have any medicinal properties. Neem tree has got a lot of medicinal properties. It keeps away flies, mosquitoes. Every part of the tree is useful for us. So for climate action schools, our keystone species was neem tree, and we propagated this particular on Earth Day as well, when we planted around 50 neem trees in and around our schools. Then this is our SDG project, which we have been doing. It is conducted twice a year. The first was on no poverty, that was SDG 2, and then we did it on SDG that was on gender equality, which I just talked to you about domestic violence. So these are some of the screenshots. For conducting this project, we are using the possibility framework, which has got around 5 to 6 steps. The first step is about think and link, wherein a trigger is given to the children, and the children then work on it to identify the problem. Then they investigate the problem. After investigating the problem, they brainstorm to find the solutions to the problem. After finding the solutions, they try to find out the challenges which they face while working with the solutions. And then, of course, they celebrate and share the solutions to the world. Because unless we don't tell the people that, yes, this is the solution, you need to work on it, our project is without goals then. So these are the children from different parts of the world. We got many schools from Serbia joining us for this project. This is one of the storytelling sessions we had with different schools of the world, and that is the Mowgli, the Jungle Book being told. So children had made masks, and each one of them became a character and presented to the children. So it was a wonderful way of learning for the children also and presenting it in a very beautiful fashion. So you can see right now here, we had a collaboration with the Philippines. Jocelyn that's the school which did the SDG Quest, and we won an award also for being one of the participants from our school, won the game which he had developed in Bresna about climate action. Yes, so these are the different ways which we have worked several times. We have been working with earthquake victims of Morocco. So this is the videos which we sent to their schools and shared their grief on that particular incident. We also celebrated the Wetlands Day. There was an educator from Bangladesh, and he spoke about how the Sundarban area, where there are a lot of mangrove trees, and they are being cut. And the reason is that that area has become prone to a lot of cyclones. So the need for us to save our wetlands, because that's the place where we are having so many trees, and that's the place where we get these migratory birds. So we lose out on things if we don't take care of our wetlands. So yes, we are also members of Climate Action School. So we have conducted the virtual assembly in various parts of the world. So yes, you can see there are some of the screenshots of the assembly. Yes, and we took part in art as activism, wherein 12 paintings made by our children was selected for their magazine, the Times magazine. They have an edition for the children, that is Times for Kids. That around 12 children had participated, and all their paintings were selected for their online as well as their hard copy of the newsletters. So you can see here, we are working here on the goal projects. And yes, we also collaborated with an NGO called UPAI, which works for underprivileged children. Now, these are street children, and we sponsored their sports activity. So they took part in various sports activities, and we had supported them financially, because there are some kind-hearted people in this world who work for the unprivileged people, particularly children. But the least we can do is provide them with some logistics, provide them with some finance, and giving them only just one particular day to enjoy themselves. And these are the books which we have donated to the same organization called UPAI. We still continue to work in collaboration with UPAI. That is, they are working for the underprivileged children. This is one project by the government of India, that is Energy Swaraj portal. And every Monday, our children don't wear ironed clothes, because we try to save on electricity. And we have a no irons day. Wrinkles achhe hote hain. That means the wrinkles on your clothes are good. So this is the way we do a little bit to add to the green footprints. Now, these are the children who worked for the DFC Design for Change project, which we are a member, and they have converted a barren land in front of a building into a park using all recyclable materials. And yes, we went to a laboratory to study about how microfibers can be separated from the sewage. So using, it is NEERI, which is one of the premier organization in our country, set up in our city, which is doing a lot of cleaning of the rivers. So they are, the main river in our country is Ganga River. They are doing the cleaning of this Ganga River, and they take up various projects from the government. So there is a scientist here out here, you can see, explaining them how to remove the microfibers through coagulation, through flocculation to the students. These are the awards which our school has received. The Minister of Forest have given us awards to us. I was very fortunate enough to get the award for SDG 9. Then I'm also the 100th ambassador, and we are a Green School Award, the CSE, that is Center of Science and Engineering and Environment School. Sunita Narayan is one of the first environmentalists from our country. She has set up this organization which works in tandem with the government of India. So we are quite fortunate enough to be selected as the 19th school, which is our green school. because of the green practices which we have done, because we have sensitized our children towards a greener world. These are some of the certificates in the various competitions we have participated. Our children have participated. I have participated. And these are the cleanliness drives, children going from home to home, trying to survey and ask questions related about the need for greening their world. And at the end of the academic session, it is a ritual for us to collect all the e-waste which we have generated in our schools. Children bring it from their homes as well. So collection happens over the year. We collect it, and then there is a vendor in Nagpur. We go and give. We were able to give him 52 kilos of e-waste this year. And yes, we received a certificate also from him. And yes, we have worked on domestic violence. Violence need to stop. The VNS, it's still continuing. We are still working on it. Not a single project is a full stop. There's always a comma. Just because our academic session ends, we actually have to stop it. Then we came up with a project wherein we came up with around 7 to 8 educators from the world came up with a video on repair, reuse, and refurbish. So this was done last year. And this is the celebration of the Earth Day, as I told you earlier, that we planted the neem tree, which is our keystone species in and around our schools. This is the song, which is a Pani song, which became very famous and was shown to different parts of the world. It talks about conservation of water. And we are hosting ACT Global Summit, wherein we are calling all the educators around the world to come and participate in the 2-day function which we are having. So it's going to be a students' carnival and educators' workshops. We are coming up with a cohort 7 as well. And this cohort 7, wherein you find that teachers will be presenting their projects both online as well as offline. So this is it from our school. We are continuing. This year we have plans to take the children of our SDG club to forest bathing. So we are going to start our session with our school academic SDG session with forest bathing. And then we continue with our different projects throughout the year. And I hope if John calls up next year, I'm going to present what we did in 24, 25 as well. Thank you so much, and God bless.
Thank you. That was fantastic. What a wonderful overview of your own commitments and the commitment from everyone at your wonderful school. Really important topics there. It was great to see your commitment to gender equality, to greening the earth. No Iron Day. You know, these are small yet incredibly significant commitments across all of the Sustainable Development Goals. Best wishes with your forthcoming global conference for ACT. We'd love to get involved in that, and we shall certainly have you back again, because it really is amazing work you're doing. So thank you to you and all at your wonderful school, Shanaz. Okay, so we're moving across now from India to our friends in Kenya, and it's a big hello to Paponi House Preparatory School and a very warm welcome to Basie Matos. Over to you, Basie.
Yeah, let me share. Hi, sorry. I'm Basie. I'm working right now in Peponi School in Kenya. And we start this year, this school year, 2026-2024, with 2 aims, which was develop, work with the sustainable development goals, and also develop and work with mental health, so promote mental health amongst our pupils. So this has been our two major aim this school year. Because we started this year, our first stage is to start educating our pupils and create awareness in them about the sustainable development goals and mental health. So we do it through communication. So our first stage was communicating with them through assemblies, pep talks, when we invited especially from other fields like UN, for example, they come to our schools and they talk to the kids and to the parents too about different matters, educational field trips. We also creating this year the school green gazette. I will show you later, when every month is released all the activities we are doing sustainability around the school. We also partner with other schools. Well, our first partner is with Spanish School from Global School Alliance, and we are working in building more partnerships. And also we are we're partnering with a local school very close to our school here in Kenya. We also do some events to celebrate our diversity, because we are 40 in our school. There are 48 nationalities, and with different different language and different cultures. So in order to make the kids feel value, because everybody is different, and we're trying to do activities where everybody feels represented. And also we can appreciate our diversity, that which is a lot of big diversity in our school. And also we have our eco committee that has been very active this school year. And most of the activities that come from the students who are leading the activities. So I would like to take you through this. As I told you before, we ensure first communication for us is very important to develop quality education of our pupils. So we have a board called Global Awareness. Right now we are advertising the missing goal context. We have received a few works from the pupils. This is an example of assembly where the Red Cross was invited to explain what is their role in the world, but also what they do when there is a different type of catastrophe. For example, I don't know if you know that in the past few weeks, Kenya there's a lot of rains, and was taking out many of the farmers lose their crops, they lose the houses, there was landslides. So our people created in the assembly, they were asking their fellows to donate, could be money or donate food or different kind of clothes to help the people. So this is our scouts, where lead an assembly explaining to the students the situation in Kenya and how we could help. Another assembly we have, we're inviting the cleanup campaigns. This is a group of people who work in a major park in Nairobi, and they trying to clean up the park. So they went and talked to the little ones, the year 1 and 2, about the importance of have a clean environment. So this is different ways that we start communicating and creating global awareness in our school. As I mentioned before, because we have a lot of cultures in the school, so we're trying to celebrate. So the most recent one was Eid, when parents came and talked to the kids about the importance for them to celebrate Eid. What are the pillars of Islam, the Islam religion, why they celebrate. The kids in the assembly asked questions to them. There was a lot of little kids, year 1 and 2, also that express their ideas about Islam. Another way we celebrate culture is in our menu. Every Wednesday we have Think Wednesday, when every Wednesday we have food from different country. Our chef trying to cook food from different countries. I've seen the list of the kids, so the kids get very excited. This is from my country, we do this, and they share in our lunch table different different food and what is the favorite food from different countries. And it's very interesting. It's very nice. Doing this kind of thing, we are promoting SDG 16 and SDG 10 for peace, justice, strong institutions, and reducing inequalities. I feel when the kids see that the culture is valued and there is no a culture better than the other one, I think we are promoting peace. And the kids do not feel inferior. On the contrary, they see that being different is not a problem. And we're trying to do it through this kind of activities. We also was very, very nice. We built, there was international, there was the last week of December before breaking school. And then we built with different activities through 2 weeks, building International Day. So the kids, every day there was a country that they selected, they present, and you can see here the board. From that country, they welcome the parents and the kids greeting in this country. So here what they say, Yassas in Greece. Here they were saying Konnichiwa, and there was music in the background. Year twos. This is the year 2. They talk about Congo, DRC. There was music and they were dancing. Some of the parents joined us. And then the last day was Kenya. There's our host country. And there was a very nice party. Let's see if I can listen this. So these are the kids welcoming their parents. So this is another way to celebrate diversity in our culture and peace. Sorry. We also talking about having partnership with other schools. Recently, we partnered with a Spanish school in England, in Dorset, and we have been doing some projects with them. Meet and talk about different ways that we action that the kids do to clean and green. So they will present to us and we will to present to them. And well, I'm looking forward to hear the amazing ideas they will share. And also this is a school, a local school here in our same road. So we invite them to our school and then we're doing reading in this activity. So they read to us, our people read to them, and they also did some games and painting. So it's good work. We're working in that. We have also a team with projects and was being mitigated drought in Kenya, because although we have in the last few weeks last we have to raise 18 projects during the STEAM week to trying to come up with ideas and help the community and trying to stop we won't stop the drought so quickly, but trying to do some actions that can help the farmers in the north of Kenya is when they face the drought. There is the driest part of Kenya. So here you can see like, well, this is one of the groups, all the investigations that they did took a week. Here is in the fair, we created a fair where they presented to all the students. And this is one of the examples of the project. So the best project were taken to a fair that was hosted by other school called Braeburn last week. And our students presented there. So we're waiting for the results. But it's good to see the kids also taking the lead or trying to solve global issues. This is our the Go Green Gazette when we we celebrate our achievements in the sustainability area. These are being an amazing project. Our kids, the community was asking to the head of the school through some films and letters to open a new recycling station because in the school we didn't have recycling bins. And took around, I think, 6 months campaigning and asking and proposing different ways to recycle in the school. And finally, we got our recycling station, and that was the opening day when the science teacher, the geography teacher, and the eco committee was then received, and they're teaching other students why recycling is important. They were leading different assemblies talking about the importance to keep our planet clean. And this is very linked to responsible consumption and production and climate action. We also celebrate the World Earth Day, where there was a very good initiative from our kids. They was asking the students, the classmates, to bring any clothes that they don't use. The clothes cannot be torn or dirty, not clothes that they don't use anymore, and they can interchange. So here you can see the kids coming early morning before going to the classroom, giving the clothes, and then they collect a token, and then during the lunchtime and also break time in the morning, they went there and they interchanged and got clothes from another friends, and they interchange clothes. This is to avoid consumption. And this is the poster some of them made. So this initiative has been from the kids. It's very nice. It was very nice with a very good atmosphere, seeing the kids trying clothes, sharing, interchanging clothes with each other. We visited the Ocean Soul. That is a very beautiful project about recycling. As I told before, our aim this school year has been to create global awareness and immerse our students in the Sustainable Development Goals. And we took the school to this project, and what they do, they take flip-flops from the sea, because there is a lot of flip-flops you can find on the sand and the beach. And they collect the flip-flops, and then they create different sculpture with the flip-flops. So the kids came here, they participate, they help, they have hands-on, and one of the parents also joined us, and she said something very nice, that she said, like, we are using trash to make treasure. It was very good. I'm taking the quote from her, but is what it is. The flip-flop are very dirty, they clean it up, and then they made the amazing things with the flip-flops. And our students participating in that. It was great to see them doing this. We're trying to link our field trips also to sustainable development goals. And this year, the kids went to El Samer, which is a eco school, when they teach them different type of clean energy. So here is the geothermal, and they explain how the geothermal works, and the solar. And I was recently in a field trip, I came just this morning, and then we learned how to create biogas with cow poo, and the kids were has to use to attach the cow poo and and helping one of the farmers to put it inside the bin when they create the gas, and then we go inside the house and we see how the biogas is used. So the farmer was cooking, and was very interesting. I didn't know that you could do biogas with cow poo, so I also learned about it. Very interesting. So what we're trying to do this year is, as I said before, is create awareness, teach the kids through education different ways, or give them the tools, different way that they can use in the future to be active and help to create a sustainable planet. They visited also another group of students visiting the Stedmark Garden. It's an animal park and farm, but the idea was to see to evaluate the potential impacts, both positive and negative, of the human activities in the ecosystem. So this was the table they have to use to collect the data. And then after after that, they went to the science classes to discuss different ways to improve this impact, mostly the negative impacts. So they've been still working on this project. This was year 7. And another important goal that we've been working this school year, apart from sustainability, is mental health. So we create a new mental health hub, where we, through bulletin boards, we showing kids different ways to deal with coping tools to deal when they have depression, or depression is too a strong word, when they feel sad, or they have any issue with the friendship issues. We also create, well, this the first year that our school also we were like 12, I think 12 teachers who acquired the degree, the certification of mental health aiders. So not only for the kids, but and the most important thing that I couldn't take a picture for safeguarding, but we have also around 15 pupils who are mental health ambassadors. They wear a nice jacket during break times, and they just go around the school talking to kids and trying to, to be there for if someone needs to be there to listen and help whoever it needs. And then these ambassadors meet with the school counselor and the head of pastoral, and they create different activities to nice activity. And another thing we do related to mental health is doing some field trips that help the student to be in touch with nature. And this is some of the year 8s climbing Mount Kenya. We spent it's around 5 days that we spent camping, walking. Also, we're trying to do this to help the students to also build resilience. To also build the resilience, and it's a good activity for them, not only to be in nature and learn about life on land, because there is a few wildlife around, and the guides talk to them about the plant, the vegetation we found during the trip, but also, they work. They talk together. There is a lot of friendships that come out, new friendships that come out during these trips that you never see that. You never imagine that 2 different kids will be friends, and this is a trip when you can see that, they support each other, they cheer for themselves. It's a very nice trip. This is Mount Kenya, and that is the day before we submit. We submit at 2 a.m. It's very cold, and this is our tent, and it's an amazing experience for the young children to be resilient, to work in the mental health, to create friendship, and also to be in touch with nature, supporting the SDG 3 and SDG 15. Okay, so thank you so much. This is the way that we have been promoting the SDGs in during this school year. We call it a stage number 1, which was just educating our children and promoting them. And then next school year, we'll be more active with more projects with other schools. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thanks, Basie. That was fantastic. Really impressive the way that you brought on all of the sustainable development goals there. Fantastic to see the Ocean Soul project, the flip-flops. That was amazing, very creative. Well done on the recycling station to have ensuring that young people were involved in that is fantastic. And your commitment to responsible consumption, always very important to have that sitting, and also your life on land, your field trips, really brilliant work. So again, a huge thank you for your brilliant work. Okay, thank you. We're now moving across from Kenya to the wonderful All Saints Primary School in North London, and to welcome the head teacher, Jane Corkill, and senior teacher Sophia Pantelli, who will be telling you about their amazing work with Project Weeks.
Oh, hello there. I'm Jane Corkill.
I'm Sophia Pantelli. Hi.
And I think you're going to kindly show our presentation for us. So it's been really lovely to hear what our other two presenters are doing. I think we're sort of building on what Basie said in a way, and maybe what we can show is how we've adapted that to our school. We're quite a small school and we don't have a big sort of resource. And we're quite committed to the government's curriculum. So I think what we've done is found a way to make that work for us. So that's maybe what we can talk about. So as a Church of England school, you can see our sort of mission statement, which is inspired by Christ. But then I think reaching out to all is, very relevant to what we're talking about today. And then John, as you said, being the best that we can be. So those are words, and what we wanted to do was to find a way to put those into actions. And I think the thing that inspired me was quite some years ago seeing the world's largest lesson with a little clip that's still on YouTube by Malala, where basically the clip demonstrates all of the problems we're combating have been made by mankind's creativity. But the flip side of that is all of those problems could also be solved by our creativity. And as educators of children from 3 to 11, what can we realistically expect of children of that age? Well, I think at primary school, our job is to instill in them the right values and the right beliefs that they can actually make a difference. So while some of our projects might, comparatively be quite low level, I think
even at 3, we can incorporate it and they can understand as the nursery teacher. I mean, we did Project Bees recently, and I think that's my favourite project. We haven't got a slide for that because I just wanted to explain how we can, even the 3-year-olds can understand about pollination and hexagons, even just through maths and everything that the bees can do and how important they are.
Yes, so we've taken on board the UN Sustainable Development Goals as that vehicle to teach our children how to make a difference. And I think one of the things we've incorporated very much is the very visual aspect of that, so the children recognise those goals. So you can see here that from 2019, and perfect timing with changing the slides, thank you. You can see here that from 2019 we started trying to find a way that we could routinely, and I think that's the thing for us, that it has to be routinely, make sure that we are making time for this. So our school year is broken down into 6 half terms. So you can see here at the first week, at the beginning of every term, we dedicate that time as a project week. And usually it's led by something that either is very relevant globally or something that the children are interested in. So you can have a quick look here and see what we've managed to cover. We're always thinking of ways. So that's one thing we do, is that we have a dedicated project week. And the outcomes of that are very varied and sometimes quite low key. But I'm going to go back to the fact that we're investing in our children for them to understand that they're change makers. So in our school mission statement about reaching out to all, some of the projects may not reach yet, and I'm not going to say yet that far globally, but we're looking forward to continuing our journey that we started to maybe be a bit more ambitious about reaching out.
I think what's also nice is that it's at the beginning of each half term, and where children after Christmas holidays or after the Easter holidays might be, oh, it's school again. It's something exciting. It's something they're interested in. And we get a week of new and different and exciting and something that they can follow through as well. And I think that's also lovely for the children.
Yeah, and we use this logo here, the Changemakers logo. I'm fairly sure that I grabbed that from the UN resources, and that's part of our daily language. So you can see here that it's about head, heart and hands, and we always refer to the children that the head is their knowledge, the heart are their values and the hands are their actions. And you know, those are all things in school that we're responsible for teaching and encouraging our young children to realise that they are change makers in everything that is said and everything that's done. So there's one more thing there, that we've always had this little prayer. My children came here 30 years ago, and this prayer has been said in school, you know, over the many decades before we thought about this. And it dawned on us this year how well that aligns actually with the head, heart and hands. So you know, to see you more clearly is very much, you know, to know what's right, what's wrong, and to love you more dearly is very much those values of kindness, love, sharing, making a difference. And to follow you more nearly are the actions. So we were delighted when we realised how well that aligned. So we're going to move on and just show you a few examples of some of the projects. So if we could have the next slide, that's it, lovely. So we've been lucky enough, well, I think we've been creative actually. We had a big garden at the front of the school that
Very
made
lucky.
the school, you know, look, probably, I'm sorry if anyone's going to be offended by this, but posher than we were, because it was like just this big grass area and the children couldn't use it because it's next to a busy road. So over the last 5 or 6 years, we've begged and kind of local businesses have given us bits and pieces, and we're gradually building a garden. And I now look out the window, and instead of seeing the children walk past the grass, we see them walk through the garden.
And they love it. They do really enjoy it. And we've got groups that go out and dig and that volunteer to upkeep the garden. And it's really lovely to see.
And that's incorporated in our curriculum. So we've got a group of children with quite high special needs who have this year learnt about strawberries, and that could have been in a classroom with a worksheet. But you know, they've been outside, they've seen the plants, they've seen, as you said, the bees pollinating, and now they've picked the strawberries this week. So that is part of Project Week. Every spring we do a project that's about growing, but it's also we've made sure that our science curriculum is alive by having those same values in the science curriculum. I think the sustainable development goals that the children relate to the most are the climate action and life on land and life under the sea, and those are the ones where their passion comes out for making a difference. So I think there's a few examples here of a couple of projects that we've done. But as I say, we look at the seasons, and every spring we do a project that involves the whole school. So right from our 3-year-olds up to our 10-year-olds doing the same project, but with different outcomes. So we did one on interdependence, and all of the children looked at things like food chains, and that knock-on effect, and how climate action and environments can erode that, and how important it is for that whole process, and the part that we as humans play in that and our responsibilities. So a little example of that is we've got a tennis club next to us, and last week they were cutting down some trees, and it was too late, but a group of the children came to me and said, can we make a protest, because they shouldn't be cutting down trees? Why are they cutting down the trees? So, you know, just the fact that they're thinking like that, I think is we feel is an achievement. Could we have the next slide? And very similar to a lot of what Basie said, you know, we're very aware of the children sort of leading in a lot of this. So quite often when the children come back to school after we have a long holiday in the summer, the first project is to sort of set them off again with understanding their own capability and their own learning. So that one kind of matches the well-being and quality education. And if you said to the children at school, I can't do it, they'd tell you off.
Yeah.
What would they say?
Yet.
They'd say yet.
Yes.
I can't do it yet. So that's the sort of mindset here.
Yeah.
Could we have the next slide, please? So I think it was last year we did reach out a bit further. We joined forces with a London alliance, the name of whom I've forgotten, but we worked with. It was about having a voice for action, and we worked with the school council. So do you want to say a bit about our school council?
Well, I'd like to say about the nursery actually. The nursery really loved this project and Under the Sea, and we got water. I mean, even 3-year-olds. We had a section, two groups of water, 2 bowls of water effectively, and one with dirt and pollution inside, a packet of crisps and things, and another one with clean water. And the children would, with their nets, try to clean the dirty bowl of water where I had sea creatures inside, and we explained that they were eating the crisp packets and the plastic bags, and they were getting hurt and getting injured, and turtles were getting trapped. So I think doing it visually and practically, the children really got a lot out of it, and even the 3-year-olds really understood how bad it was. And then we revisit this when we do our next project. I remind them, what did we talk about last time? You know, and they remember it because they saw it. We do it practically, and they really do enjoy it. And these project weeks are nice because in early years our curriculum is very much based on the children, and I think that's a bit of a shame that when we go out and obviously we follow the government curriculum, it's kind of lost that we don't follow the children. But these project weeks are an amazing way to bring back to the children what they want, which is like the early years curriculum, in fact, to what they need, and for the world.
Yeah, so well said. And with this particular one, which was about air pollution, which obviously in London, like many cities, you know, is something worrying, sort of as a global impact, but also very directly on health and asthma and things like that. And so we joined forces with a London-wide body to have a voice about this, and we were one of the few primary schools. There were other organisations involved. Our children went to a kind of conference and they sang a song about air pollution. And at the time, we were just about to have some local by-elections, and we lobbied the school council. Sophia runs the school council, lobbied a local MP who then promised if he got elected, he would come back to school and work with us. And, you know, it felt like he did get elected, and it did feel like that whole thing did have an impact on policy around air pollution. And this year, building on that, the school council have written back to him and talked about the traffic and the parking around the school. And as a result of that, and 2 or 3 other local schools doing the same thing, there have been tangible changes made to the parking restrictions around the school. So that's been a good thing. And the children felt very empowered by that, which I think is...
And believed that they were change makers, that they did something, which is great.
Yeah. Yeah. Can we have the next slide, please? We've done quite a few projects where it's been either about directly equality, and you know, the same thing really is reducing inequalities. I think this one was during the pandemic, and the children looked at the poem by Maya Angelou. And they wrote their own versions of it. And this was actually another thing that was the children themselves were really passionate about. I think I'll come back to that at the end because we've got another project later on about reducing inequality. So perhaps we can move on from that one. Actually the children loved this as well. It was about again, reducing inequalities, and we didn't do it completely about fair trade, because we wanted the children to really think about what they could make, but we had links with fair trade, and they came in and explained to the children quite a lot about where, if you buy something with fair trade, how that impacts on more widely in the world, and it's a better choice. But the children really thought about sourcing, the whole process of making a market and selling things, and then they voted in their classes as what charity to support with any profits that they made. And unfortunately, I couldn't share with you any other photographs. If we thought of the smiley face option, we could have done the same thing. But that was great. The responsibility the children took for that, and the understanding they then had about what they went into the shops to buy, and looking at the fair trade logos and appreciating that the farmers and the growers got a better deal if they made those choices. That's learning that they'll remember forever. So we're happy, very happy with that. Could we have the next slide? Yeah, do check it out. So yeah, this is our most recent project, and actually a lot of what Basie said resonated. In London we have probably a similar amount of children in school with different languages and from different places in the world. And if you, as I often do in assembly, if you say to our children, who's got family somewhere else in the world, I think probably all the staff and 99% of the children put their hands up. And it may be that their parents, grandparents came from different parts of the world. And I think what is very, very clear is that we are all the same, yet we're all different. And it's never easy. There's always conflict in school. There's always unkindness, and we work really hard to combat that. And we wanted to do a project that was combating racism, but with young children, it's sometimes the more you say don't do this and don't do that, you're actually highlighting the problem rather than growing a solution. So we looked at how we could. So
for the 3-year-olds, for example, if we made an issue that some children are black or some children are white, I think it's bringing the issue to the front and then causing segregation. So we did it the other way. Talk
about the dolls and the resources.
Yeah, so we've got black dolls and white dolls that the children play with, and in truth, the children don't see colour or different hair colours or different skin colours. They just think everyone's the same. And I think you've got to be careful, because you could teach racism indirectly. So we say everyone's the same and skin color doesn't matter. And I think
we're sort of like, we can do what we can do, but society maybe is giving different messages as well. So we're just trying to instill those values. And the point of Project Worth, we work with some of the parents, we work with our governors, and it's very similar to what Basie was saying, that each child came in with a sort of story about their family, and it could have been a success or a challenge. But over the week, the children shared those stories, and they thought about their own strengths, their own resilience. We talked about it being okay to challenge something if you didn't agree with it, and how to do that, and also to think about your own safety challenging something that you didn't agree with. And we practiced that. So by the end of the week, all of the children had almost got their own affirmation about the strength of who they were. And we're just going to continue to build on that as we move forward. Yes, exactly. A good point, not making an issue about things that aren't. And it's very hard sometimes to combat things. So we tried to look at it the other way and actually look at what the strengths are of everybody and then expect that. And the children through school council was Sophia. Can you talk about the school values, what they did?
So with Jane, being new head this year, we obviously the school had its values in the past with the old head teacher, but we decided, and we'd worked with the school council to build new values that the children wanted to incorporate. So every class wrote down a whole list of what one word values, so fairness, kindness, words like that we could make as the new values. So every class wrote a list, and from those lists we sat down and we got the 9 most common words. No, more than that, wasn't it?
It was
the 9 most common words, and we did a diamond where each child then, so obviously with the lower years, with year ones who are 6, 7, they did it in groups or in partners, and with those 9 most common words, they put them in a diamond in order of which value they think is the most important. And through that, we then managed to get our new values.
Yeah, so we whittled it down to the 6 values. And what I was really impressed with, and I may have steered the children a little bit with this, but that they understood the difference between fairness and equity. And so they actually voted for equity, because children see fairness and they say that's not fair is such a common thing. But they did appreciate that you wouldn't give the same reading book to a 10-year-old as you'd give to a 4-year-old. And that could be fair to give them the same, but equity is to give that child what they need to be successful. So we did quite a bit of work about that. So very happy with that.
And now we have our new goals.
Now we have our
new values.
Yes, and the children are busy at the moment, as John said, thinking about what goals they think are missing. And sort of evaluating, and it's really interesting to see what they're thinking. So we shall be finding a way to submit those. I have to say, I do think we are very honoured and very humble that you asked us to speak today, because we just feel like we're a
beginners,
small school in North London, just doing what we do, and we're hoping that as our children fledge the primary school nest, that they'll go on and take with them that willingness to be a change maker, and to see that everything that they say and do makes a difference, and just to create that. So that's where we're at.
Yes, thank you.
Brilliant. That was absolutely brilliant. Thank you. And just to say, I will say it again, Jane, you are the most important people in the world, global educators. So what you're doing is truly inspirational. Lovely to see the chat coming through. I agree absolutely with Lisa, to see your commitment, unity and diversity. Really inspirational. And we're very honoured to have Colette Cotton with us. That is also an amazing primary school. And we can share her commitment to young learners activity with the SDGs. So they were really fantastic. It was great that you brought together so many of the Sustainable Development Goals. I agree, absolutely. Go on your website, the importance of empowering young people to be responsible, respectful, active citizens. And I think you have just demonstrated that in the most powerful, wonderful way. Okay, we do have a couple of minutes. Would anybody like to ask a question or give any further insight or comments about these amazing presentations? We will be having another webinar about the Sustainable Development Goals, because there's so much amazing work out there that if you are interested in contributing to that, do email us and we'd be delighted to feature your school as we feature the amazing All Saints there. You can get your certificate of participation for attending today's webinar. Any feedback, do share it with us all. You will be getting the recording of these amazing presentations on the website. But just to say a huge thank you to particularly all the young people that have been involved in this work. And I think we have Heritage International School with us on the call. And we just want to say a big thank you to one of their amazing students who was the president of our secondary student council. And it was her last event today, but a brilliant participation from that. Big thank you to all those primary schools that are also involved in the council and do get involved in that. Okay, we do have a question from the wonderful Lisa Stevens. Do you go completely off timetable. What was that question again, Lisa? You go off timetable.
Hello. I just wondered, because I'm madly scribbling down all these things that they were just talking about. And you say for the first week of each half term, you focus on this project. Do you go completely off timetable for the whole week?
No, we don't. What we've done with our curriculum map is the morning is English and maths, and then the afternoon is going to be the foundation subjects. So that week, the afternoon is project week.
Brilliant. Thank you very much. I wanted to say, well, this is what they do. This is what we could do. Brilliant. Thank you very much.
Fantastic. Thank you, Lisa, and best wishes to all at wonderful White House Common. Okay, would anybody else like to come on camera and ask a question to any of our wonderful contributors before we close today? But just to say, again, a huge thank you to the wonderful Shanaz. Thank you for all you do, Shanaz. We're delighted to be involved with your ACT Global Summit coming up. A big thank you to the wonderful base in Kenya. That was really fantastic, really important, and the way you brought together so many of the goals was truly inspirational. And again, a huge thank you to wonderful Jane and Sophia at All Saints Primary School, who have just received their Bronze Award. So congratulations. We look forward to working with you, and it was truly inspirational the way you bring together those important projects and ensure that the voice of young people is writ large in that. So please do send your entries through what you think the missing sustainable development goal is, and we'll be delighted to feature those across our wider community and with our friends at World's Largest Lesson. So without further ado, we just want to say a big thank you. We know many of you will be breaking for summer breaks and holidays, etc. But we have to say it again, you are the most important people in the world. We are privileged to work with you every day, and privileged that you are key to that great conversation of humankind. What does connect us? What does bring us all together? And the work you're doing is incredibly powerful support for that. So do stay in touch. Send us an email about anything. We look forward to seeing you for the next webinar. So just to say a big thank you, Shanaz, Basie, Jane and Sophia, and to you all. Have a wonderful summer, but we will be in touch again soon, and do stay in touch. And yes, the link there for the council. Thank you for sharing that. But anything you need, you know where we are. So thank you, everyone. Take care, and we'll see you again. Cheers, Basie. Cheers, Jane. Thank you to our wonderful Lizzie Bow. Thank you, Florina. Thank you, Kinia. We know there's lots of our wonderful ambassadors on the call as well. So take care, everyone, and thank you from us all.